Hello there, this is Chris back with another Kerbal Space Program tutorial video. This is how to capture an asteroid. So we're back in the game where I previously launched my shuttle. There's the probe it launched with the rather imaginative untitled spacecraft name. So to find an asteroid you need to go out beyond the moon, you need to go out beyond Minmus all the way to the sun, and there they are. They will only appear once they get close enough to your tracking station, which is on the planet. And they have classes. I believe they go from A, which is the smallest, then they go tiny, and then they go small, medium, large, and then they go to, I think it's called massive or huge. Doesn't seem to be any here. And then that's about the biggest one. So they have, if you click on them, it'll tell you Class C objects around 7 to 10 meters in radius, which means they're 20 meters wide in total. So that's a medium. 20 meters wide, that is enormous. Let's see if we got a small one. We got more medium. We got a large. So large is 12 to 18. That's even bigger. And then massive is just over 18. I mean, massive or huge, I can't remember what they're called. They are real big things. Yeah, well, anyway, so I'll show you what you do. So once you select your asteroid, that's what the first thing you got to do is you got to pick an asteroid, obviously. So the tiny or small are the best bet if you want to actually capture one. I mean, you can capture medium and large and huge, but you require enormous craft. So what you do is you select it. So this one says, so this is a tiny, last seen 2 hours ago. And then what you do is you click this blue icon, track, and it adds it there. And as it happens, this is very soon to intercept, 24 days to be precise. So it gives you its name now, Asteroid RGU 668. So if I was to select, say, this one, and then track it, this one is a much longer intercept. It's all over there, so it's going to take 120 days. It's got a different name. This is a medium one. So now you got to build, so we got 2 asteroids tracking. We're going to go for this one first because we've only got 24 days to wait to capture this one. So what we're going to need to do now is we're going to need to build a ship capable of capturing it. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward through the building process, and this is going to be added later as narration over the top. When you're building a rocket to go to an asteroid, you need to think as if you are going to the moon or going to Minmus. Except for instead of legs, you need to put on a white grabber claw, which is that thing there that I've just put on. Now, the one I've built is unmanned. It just makes it a little bit lighter. You're going to need all the usual things. You're going to need solar panels. You're going to need some sort of power supply. You're going to need battery packs. You're going to need RCS tanks. You're going to need RCS thrusters. And you're going to need, obviously, fuel and engines. The upper stage, you can see there, I don't have a big fuel tank. Keeping it light. I've used the more of the smaller thruster, the one that has a little bit more fuel efficiency. You can use the nuclear engine. The nuclear engine will probably double the weight of that entire ship, which is the reason of why I didn't use it. And then you're just going to need to build a booster onto the bottom of it. Use whatever skills you know how to. Remember, it's roughly the same amount of fuel and speed needed to get to the moon or to Minmus. I always tend to stick with solid rocket boosters because when you play campaign mode, solid rocket boosters are much lighter. They got a better thrust to weight ratio and they're cheaper. So I'm gonna go back to old Chris now, who will now show you how to actually intercept the asteroid. In order to capture an asteroid, you first need to find your asteroid. So the one we selected earlier, which was the tiny one, this one, there was 2. But this is the first one. You set it as your target, just as you would do if you were attempting an orbital docking or something. And it's going to put this line on. This is the line. So in 24 days, it'll encounter Kerbal. And when it hits this point, it will arrive there. And then it will come along, it'll do 1/4 of an orbit, and then fly off into space, going much quicker probably, and then you'll never see it again. what we've got to do is we've got to dock onto it before this point, this periapsis here. Once it passes this, it's going to be moving further and further away, so we'll never catch up with it. We need to catch it before it reaches this point. Now, so you can do it anywhere along this green line or this yellow line. The yellow line is quite a lot more difficult to do, so we're going to capture it along the green line, and we're going to try and capture it as far out as possible, because during this point it's going quite slow. It speeds up a lot here and then flings off into space. So the further away we capture it, the slower it will be going, the easier it is for us to actually match speeds and then capture it. But first of all, we have to put ourselves in an orbit that looks like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to try and line up as close as you can so that all the lines are within the green circle. And then you're going to speed time up. And you're going to wait, there he is, Asteroid Capture 1, until he is on the correct side of the planet. There he is, more or less in the right place. You don't have to be exact at this point. And now we look, it's a pity we can't pause the game. We've got this. This is the asteroid in space. Now, in order to match orbits with it, we have to be flying away from it. Doesn't make sense when you hear it, but trust me, it'll make sense when you see it happen. Which means we need to move this way, exactly away from it. So where it is on that angle line, we need to move away from it when we take off. So we need to be taking off at this angle. Normally you would just go 90 degrees, put yourself in an orbit. No, we want to be matching the same orbit. If the other marker is on, which is the one with the cross on it, you need to move towards the cross. And you'll see why once you're in space. But for now, let's get the light on so we can see what we're doing. We take off. So the problem is, typically you're almost always going to be launching at night when looking for asteroids. It doesn't make very good videos because you can't really see what's going on, even with my light. The light's really there to light up the asteroid, not the spaceship. So we're approaching 10 now, so we're going to start to make our roll. And we're going to go in the exact opposite direction of that pink thing. So we need to be staying roughly 2/3 of the way towards the 45-degree line. So it's a typical launch. You want to slowly work your way over, and then at around 30 to 40,000 meters you want to be pretty much horizontal. So you're just going to keep going. You want to put yourself into orbit, a nice high up orbit. If you put yourself over 240,000, it lets you do that all the way up to 7 accelerations, which is what you really do want. So we're just going to keep accelerating until we're in orbit. And then once we reach this descending node, we can adjust our angle, make a second burn. But for now, I'm just going to bring this up to 250. So it's just the usual orbital insertion. The only difference is we are in a highly inclined orbit. So it's as long as they're both over 2, that's okay. So now we're going to try and fix this angle. So we're at 3 degrees. Let's see, does that make it better or worse? That makes it worse, so it's this way. 2 degrees. 2 degrees. 1 degree, that's getting better. 1.2, oh hang on, that's minus 1.2. Did I pass it? Oh, yeah. -1. Okay, 1 degree. 1 degree will do. I can adjust it afterwards. So then that basically, once I've performed this burn, I will be more or less aligned with the future orbital path of the asteroid. And as soon as it hits the Kerbal encounter, right, here we go. So it's changed now. So as you can see, this is the path it's going to take. So we'll just let it get a little bit closer, and then we're going to go back to this guy. So now we can begin making our approach. So let's let me check the angles. Oh, so it's changed. When it reached orbit, it changed. So we can make an adjustment. As it happens, we're exactly the opposite. So it's 4 degrees. That's 5. So it's this way. So what you're going to do now is we need to intercept the asteroid. So we're going to add a maneuver on the opposite side of the planet, and we need to fly out towards the asteroid. And we want to be meeting the asteroid. This is why we're orbiting in the same way as the asteroid, because we want to be coming back. We want to capture it on the way back. So let's have a look. What are our... We don't have an intercept on this. So you just need to keep play. Oh, we got one there. So I can't find any of the markers. Ah, I thought it's 30. Okay, so I need to shrink. Right, so we can see one here. So in 9 days... Oh, this must be a second orbit. Oh, it's only 5 days away. Hang on, let me keep adjusting. You just need to keep adjusting. You will find a point eventually. Oh, hang on. That was a good one. We had it there. So, ahaha. Just need to keep adjusting. Oh, there we go. Now, the problem with this is we need to be moving away, really. I thought I had it then. I thought that was going to keep on. Ooh, that's not a great one. There's a lot of injust. Oh, here we go. The pink lines are coming. Oh, I thought they were going to join. Oh, we got it. That's the one we want. So basically, we'll be moving in the same direction here. I'll be coming this way. He'll be coming this way. That is so separation. So this is the one we're going for, and then we'll adjust it once we've got everything in line. So we're node in 24 minutes. So we're going to orbit round. Takes a little bit of trial and error this because of the shape of the orbit. But you can get it. You just need to keep trying. Now, as you can see, it's slightly further out than the moon, this. It's not quite as far as Minmus, but further than the moon. The issue with it is, though, once you reach the moon, it's usually only about an 80 meters per second difference to put yourself in orbit. Minmus is even smaller, because you're going so slow by the time you reach out there. These asteroids, though, by the time you reach them, they are travelling ridiculously faster. Oh, well, I went too far then. They are travelling so much quicker than you are. The difference in speed is enormous. You actually need way more fuel than if you were going to the moon or Minmus. And then once you've reached it, you then have the problem. Okay, so we're a bit further off than we thought. Of slowing the thing down, and they weigh quite a lot, the asteroids, so actually getting it to slow down can be an issue. Wow, this is the tiniest difference is what's throwing this off. So what's that? 54 kilometers, that's not bad. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use RCS for this. Oh, wow. That was really bad. I'm just tapping that and it's... Okay, I'm going to have to wait till I get closer. So you can see, look at the speed drop when I hit this point. This is why you want to be meeting the asteroid when it's... The asteroid, look at that. So I'm going at 105 orbit speed. That is doing 540. So that means to catch up at this point, I need to do some serious accelerating. Okay, so let's try... I probably passed, actually. Is that getting closer? I can't tell. Nope, it was the other way. Let's go back that way. What is that? I can't tell. It's a 90 kilometer. Let's see if I can put a better maneuver on. So that'll be a 40, 'cause that's a pretty good one. 30. It's an even better one. So it's a very, very... Right, what is that? What have we got there? 50 kilometers. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Can adjust once we're closer. Oh, see how fast it's coming? This is the issue with these. Now what's going to happen is once it gets close enough, it's going to be like a regular docking. It's going to give you... Wait for it. It's going to switch to target mode. There we go. 424. So if I remember rightly, you... Nope. You need to move to the other one. The pink one. Yeah, that's the one. The pink one with the cross in it. And you need to burn. I'm going to bring it down to 0. Well, close enough. So if we look now, both of our ships are on the same orbit. And we are... What distance are we apart from each other? We should be able to see. 22 kilometers from him. So, that is fantastic. So we're going to point towards him. And we're going to accelerate towards him. There he is, 100 meters away. And we're looking right at him. So now, we're going to go into docking mode. This is a whole thing if you don't know how to dock. And then we are simply going to fly towards it. At this point, you're going to want to arm your docking arm. So you're going to get very close. Slow yourself down. Until you're almost up, and then you want to right click on it, target the center of mass. And now this is the important bit. You need to angle absolutely everything up now. You need to get your center lined up. You need to get all icons lined up. This is easier said than done. You just want to keep approaching very slowly. As you can, this is the smallest asteroid, so you can just imagine how big the bigger ones are. This is as close as I'm going to get to being centered. And we have grabbed it. So we are now one large spaceship. I am... not. So you can rename it now, which you couldn't do before. If you have a look, I'm not quite centered up there. But so this is the beauty of the claw. You grab the claw and you free the pivot. And what you can do... I'm going to disable SAS for this. You can just move... Oh, hang on. I'm on... Go back into staging mode. You can pivot your ship around the pivot point. And then you can relock it. So we're now in center. And if we put the RCS back on, we should be able to move the entire thing around. Obviously, gigantic asteroids will need way, way more RCS fuel than that. So let's have a look what we need in order to put this into a stable orbit. Yeah, it's this one. So it's only... a 15-second burn. And it will put us into an orbit like that. And done. And now we can even, I believe, do we? So we're gonna add a maneuver node. And we're going to try and get our orbit flatter if we can. Wrong way. That's a much better orbit, much better. And that is going to require, wow, quite a lot. I might have enough fuel though. I do have fuel left. So we'll see. That'll be a much easier orbit to get to. It's about 3/4 of the way towards the moon. I need to have a look at what kind of fuel usage this is going to be. This is a 1 minute 20-second burn. I am not going to have anywhere near enough fuel for this. Okay, so yeah, I've not got anywhere near enough fuel to do this burn. But I've got it better. And we're out of fuel. That's okay. Yeah, the RCS is going to be out of fuel, the monopropellant. I might get halfway, give or take. So anyway, that's the basics of putting an asteroid into orbit around the planet. It's now in a secure orbit. It's not quite the orbit I was hoping for, but it's pretty good. What you want to do now is, having this on, obviously the electrical charge will keep this probe alive. You can send out other ships. I could have put a docking ring on this one, so we could just refuel this. You can send out more with better engines, more efficient engines. You don't need... It's much easier to capture now because it's in a stable orbit. It's not quite perfect, but who cares? So anyway, that's the basics of capturing. Have we got any new ones? We've got medium, just a bunch of medium ones. Another tiny one. Anyway, as I said, this is a tiny asteroid. You need to remember this. If I was to try and capture a medium, it would be enormous. So, I think it says, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I can't view now. But yeah, the medium ones are about 3 times the width. So the medium one would be like this big compared to this little one. This engine would probably not even be able to move it even slightly. I probably wouldn't even be able to spin it round. So you need to adjust your ships based on what you're planning on doing. So yeah, I'll hopefully I'll have some more guides up for different things. So goodbye until next time.